You ever heard of this game called Dandelion Void? It's like, it has space and stuff, it's really cool.
Do you like Project Zomboid? What if we're plants instead of zombies? And also in space, on a station. Not the 13th one or 14th, though. Meet Dandelion Void, a game made by Manzanita Interactive. It's isometric, and instead of fighting zombies, you fight plants. The people making it consist of modders from Project Zomboid, which, if you couldn't tell, was a big inspiration. But since it's actually 3D, it has pretty effects like real shadows and lighting, and we can even move the camera. The game is being developed in Unity. Gameplay-wise, it'll be familiar to what you know, running around and hitting things with sharp or blunt objects. But there's some cool stuff here. The inventory system is like Tarkov or Resident Evil. You walk around with WASD and interact with objects using right-click. There are these terminals around that you can use, giving you lore or access to machinery. It'll work based off commands, but they say it'll be easy enough for people without command line experience to figure out. You'll have to scavenge abandoned overgrown rooms or hydroponic forests, which can host a number of carnivorous plants. Make sure to look out for loose vents. We can see these common walking plants that can easily overwhelm you in large groups, and there's also these vines that hang from the ceiling. It won't insta-kill you, but I bet it's one of the heavier hitters. There's also a heavier variant of the common plants that you can tell apart with a darker green. If the trailer is anything to tell by, we'll also be vulnerable to the vacuum of space, which is a pretty interesting hazard. Hopefully there are ways to check if the next room is just insta-death, maybe with those terminals. Just like Zomboid, there will be player status effects and traits. For example, if you eat gross things, you'll get indigestion, and eventually you'll throw up if you continue scarfing down dead rats. But maybe you have a trait like iron stomach and can consume more rodents than the average guy. Something I've wanted in Zomboid for a while, that this game will have out of the box, is having the characters visually represent their weight. It's cool and immersive. Base building is an essential feature and tied to gameplay, as the more furniture in a room makes it more comfortable, increasing crafting speed and, in the future, other stats. This is a pretty cool way to make decorating have an actual effect on gameplay, although I'm sure that people will min-max it with ugly rooms full of desks and chairs Tetrised into place. We'll also be able to make scrap-together furniture out of items that are found in the station. They look really cool and look like somebody actually made them. Items will have a variety of uses. Different tools could break down furniture and can be used as weapons, or combined to create new ones. It's stuff we're familiar with. Map-wise, the pergola is going to be split into modules. How big these modules are is subject to change. We're only going to get one module in early access release because they want to hear player feedback and create the next modules based on that. The map itself is a big character of this game. It has this retro-futuristic 70s look, and I love it. There are these industrial cooling tanks and living spaces like bars and libraries. It's so varied. It's awesome. Other than that, there's not too much we know other than speculating from screenshots and Discord messages. We're probably going to see something kind of like Project Zomboid's 3D loot placement system. Considering that the game's 3D and all, it's probably way easier to implement. I guess I could talk about the lore. The lore of Dandelion Void is actually pretty interesting. You are the descendants of the original people who left Earth on the Pergola, which you've probably already heard me say, and is the name of the space station you're traveling on. Launched in the 70s, in an alternate timeline where the United States and Europe broke apart into separatist territories. And in response, the remains of the old powers that be created a brutal militaristic regime. Kinda lame. During a ceasefire, the Acorn Starship Collective was created and launched themselves into space towards a planet with speculated life-sustaining capabilities. Although your survivor doesn't know any of that, all they've endured is a harsh world of steel corridors, winding jungles, and unfamiliar machinery. I really love all of this, and I want to know more about this game's universe, which we'll be able to learn more about this game's universe through the terminals and handwritten journals that we come across when looting and exploring. It's kind of like the TV and radio in Zomboid. It's one of the biggest things that I loved about that game, and you can only really experience that once, and it's really, really well written. I mean, I think it is. I hope this is of equal quality. It seems to be through all the screenshots. I think this game is revving up to be a banger, so I'll keep you updated, but for now, that's about all the important stuff. As always, I'll have links in the description if you want to find out more about Dandelion Void, or wishlist it, or you like the music. Otherwise, peace out.
What we do here is go back.